channel. Thank you for watching Lango News channel.
New members of parliament elected as Lango political landscape shifts, focus turns to UPC NRM balance and Akena's next moves. I am Denish Ongora, this is Lango News Channel. The Lango sub-region has registered a major political transition following the 15th January 2026 parliamentary elections, ushering in a wave of first-time members of parliament and significantly reshaping the region's political landscape. Across several constituencies, voters replaced long-serving legislators, a move analysts say reflects growing public demand for accountability, visibility, and effective service delivery rather than reliance on historical political loyalties. According to officially declared results, the Uganda People's Congress Party (UPC) elected 6 new members of parliament. These include Janet Auma Kao for Woman Member of Parliament, Amolata District, Geoffrey Kering, Kyoga North Member of Parliament, Colin Angwech, Kyoga County, Peter Bongashuda, Maruzi County, Leo Elem, Moruto County, and Vincent Opiru, Doholo South. On the other hand, the National Resistance Movement NRM produced 9 new MPs in Lango. They include Mercy Faith Lakisa for Alepto Woman Member of Parliament, Joseph Jones Ogwalomara, Doholo North, Boniface Okot, Kole South, Sandra Asheng for Kole Woman Member of Parliament, Heron Tony, Kwania County, James Ngutar, Kwania North, Bernard Utimu Dodge, Maruzi North, Dennis Aliala Omodi, Lira City East, and Patrick Ungom Aredeng, Erure North. The results point to a closely contested UPC NRM political environment in Lango, with both parties gaining fresh faces while losing experienced lawmakers. Political observers describe the outcome as both a generational and strategic shift, driven largely by youth and urban voters in areas such as Lira City, Oyam, and Amolatar, who increasingly vote based on competence, accessibility, and performance. For UPC, the victories reinforce Lango's position as the party's cultural ideological stronghold, demonstrating that despite years of national decline, UPC remains electorally relevant when it presents credible local candidates. For NRM, the results underline party's continued organizational strength, access to state resources, and ability to attract new candidates who appeal to voters seeking stronger links to central government. Analysts further describe the outcome as a balance between rival and consolidation. UPC's gains reflect a revival narrative centered on political identity, regional pride, and ownership, while NRM's wins signify consolidation through development messaging and incumbency advantage. Together, these dynamics create a competitive dual-party structure in Lango politics rather than dominance by a single party. To the people of Lango, the new MPs symbolize 3 key demands: performance over rhetoric, strong local advocacy at the national level, and unity beyond party lines. Voters have clearly signaled that underperformance will be punished and that MPs are expected to speak boldly for Lango's interests, while operating across party lines on priorities such as roads, health services, education, and youth employment. Expectations for the new legislators are high. They include regular presence in constituencies, transparency in use of public funds, visibility advocacy in parliament, cooperation across party lines, and mentorship of young and emerging leaders. Observers caution that failure to meet these expectations could result in short political careers, given Lango's growing culture of protest voting. Political analysts MPs are also offering advice to first-time MPs. They are urged to build independent credibility beyond party loyalty, invest in grassroots structures, actively participate in parliamentary committees, avoid absenteeism, and remain socially accessible. Respect for elders, traditional institutions, and humility are emphasized as key political survival tools in the region. At the same time, caution has been issued against extreme partisanship, transactional politics, corruption, and land-related controversies, which have historically proven politically fatal in Lao. Analysts want that electoral victory does not translate into political immunity, stressing that leadership in the region remains temporary and performance-based. Attention now turns to UPC President Akena on how he will use the 6 newly elected MPs to consolidate and strengthen the party's position in Lao. Analysts advise a shift from what they described as a memory party image to a performance party identity by elevating new MPs as the party's public face, promoting a narrative of New UPC, New Lao, and focusing on tangible results rather than nostalgia. Recommendations also include institutionalizing coordination among UPC MPs through a Lao parliamentary caucus, regular engagement with district leaders, and the development of a shared regional legislative agenda. Observers further encourage strategic issue-based cooperation with NRM MPs on Lango's development priorities, positioning UPC as a responsible regional voice rather than obstructionist opposition party. Youth and urban engagement is also highlighted as critical, with calls for investment in political education, leadership grooming, political discipline, and rebuilding UPC structures in urban centers such as Lira City. Analysts say the emergence of new MPs has rebalanced power in Lao, creating a competitive political environment that could benefit the region if managed well. For UPC, it is a moment of possible long-term revival of a missed opportunity. For NRM, it is a test for whether development promises can translate into sustained grassroots loyalty. For the people of Lao, it is a renewed opportunity to demand accountability, cooperation, and performance-driven leadership. Ultimately, observers agree that the future of Lao politics will be shaped not by party labels alone, but by how these new MPs govern, represent their constituencies, and deliver meaningful results.
Thank you for watching Lango News channel. Please subscribe for more updates.